Hey everyone, welcome back to another tutorial in the YouTube Creator course. Today we are going to be creating and uploading our own custom thumbnail. You'll see when you start uploading a video after it has processed that it gives you three options, but these aren't really good options for being clickable and engaging thumbnails. And so remember, we want our thumbnails to be honest. We want it to really showcase what our video is about. And we want to make it clickable. One thing that YouTube has done is a lot of research to see which thumbnails are the most clickable. And the ones that really are custom designed, the ones that have images and also text seem to do really well. And so for most of my thumbnails, I include imagery and text that explains what it is all about. And so you can see an example of one of mine for a recent video. Here is the easy Dutch oven bread video that I created. And I actually took photos while creating this bread to use as a thumbnail. I knew that I wanted a great looking image for the thumbnail, and that's what I added. And then I have this text as well. And this isn't just a screenshot from the video. This is an actual photo. So it's something that I'm always thinking about when I'm creating videos. Now, so let's go ahead and create our new project. So I'm using Photoshop. Of course, a lot of you aren't going to be using Photoshop. So think of this as a tutorial about the design process and not actually using this tool, Photoshop. For those of you who do use Photoshop, great, but you can actually create thumbnails in any sort of image design application like GIMP or Photoshop or Paint or PowerPoint, anything that you can actually put together images on, you can use. The key thing to start out with is the right size. And so for YouTube, they actually suggest a size of 1280 pixels wide by 720 pixels tall. That's HD quality and will show up good on most monitors. The thing is that they're always updating and increasing the size of things. Think about how HD video has changed in the past 2-3 years. Now we have 4K video. In a couple years, we'll have 6K video, and who knows beyond that. And with television screens and computer monitors getting higher and higher resolutions, I want to make sure that I am future-proofed and my thumbnail is future-proofed. So I use the width 1920 by 1080 just in case in the future it needs to be that higher quality. So 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels tall. So what I typically do is start out with a background, and I try to pick a background color that will separate me from the rest of the thumbnails out there. So this is another case for doing some research. Search for videos related to yours and see what the thumbnails look like. See here, I have my 3D After Effects tutorials. I have black background with white text. I have the After Effects program itself. I have white background with some Christmas colored text. This one has an image in the background, so that's a little more interesting. But nothing really stands out. And so that's what I want to do. I want to make it stand out. So I'm going to pick a color that stands out. So in Photoshop, I'm going to add a new solid color. And I'm going to pick something like, sort of like an orange yellow, a deep orange yellow. I think this is a very nice color. And it's going to stand out when people search for my videos. Then what I do is add my text first. So what I do is look at my title of my video. So it's After Effects tutorial revolving 3D text, rotating kinetic typography. So a lot of stuff in there. On my thumbnail, I want to make it specific to what it's actually about because people are going to see the thumbnail before they read the actual text of the title. And so I don't want to just say After Effects tutorial on my slide, my thumbnail. I want to do something like revolving text. And so that's what I'm going to use for now. I'm just going to call this revolving text. And you can see the color is very wild right now. I'm going to change that to white. And so that looks pretty good. And maybe what I'll do is text tutorial. And I like to have my text match up, so the width of the text match up. So I'll shrink this text just a little bit so that it matches the size of the revolving text. So this is good, but it doesn't really show what it's about. Revolving 3D text, it says what it's about, but it doesn't show. So I'm going to add some arrows to try to help me visualize what this tutorial will show, since I'm not actually showing the After Effects program itself. So I have these arrows that I've found online, and I'm going to add them to my revolving text. So I'm going to color it white so it looks nice. So adding a color overlay. So something like this, maybe play around with the size. I'm duplicating it, revolving. So this more or less shows what's happening. It's revolving, and that's what I want to get at with these arrows. So that's looking pretty good. The next thing I'm going to do is add the logo for After Effects. So again, these are just files that I've downloaded and I add. And this is good because people will know that it is an After Effects tutorial. Sometimes I like to put it just in the corner or in the middle, something like this. What I also do is zoom out so that I can see what it will look like as a thumbnail. So here you can see in our results the size of what it's going to look like. So I want to make sure that it looks good at that size. Now the white text isn't standing out from the background as much as I want it to, so I'm going to change this background color just a little bit, make it a little darker, make it a little bit more orange so that that text pops out a little bit more. And then I'm just going to move this After Effects logo somewhere else so that it doesn't compete with the text. Maybe just in the bottom corner, something like that. Nope, not in the bottom corner because you have your timer right here. I'm going to add it to the top corner like so. So this is looking pretty good. I might increase the size of the text just a little bit. And then because I do that, I have to move these arrows a bit. Something like that. Now I'm looking at revolving. I think that's good because rotating can mean something else. Revolving is actually what this tutorial is about. Okay, so I am happy with that. I have my After Effects logo that shows that it's After Effects. I have my text and the arrows that show what it's about, and it looks good at thumbnail view. And so now what I'm going to do is export it. So File, Save, or just save it as a JPEG. I typically save all my thumbnails in the same folder as the video so that I know exactly where it is. Save it as a JPEG, and I save it as the same title as my video. Again, keeping all the keywords in there. It does help in SEO purposes. Save. I want to make sure that it is under 2 megabytes, so I'm just going to put it at high quality. You want to make sure that it will upload because on YouTube you will see when you're uploading your thumbnails that it has a max file size of 2 megabytes. So I will just see what it looks like. It is 121 kilobytes, so JPEGs are really small file sizes. Looks amazing. And then what I will do is go back here to my video page. I will find that image and I will upload. So after a second, it will start uploading and you will see it there. And now we are ready to publish or schedule our videos. You will see that there's this little add to playlist button. If we are scheduling out our videos, it doesn't allow us to add to a playlist because then it might appear on that playlist even though it's unlisted or it's still being scheduled out. So that's one thing about scheduling your videos that you have to pay attention to is if you're scheduling, you have to add the videos to the playlist once it is published and made public. And you can't do that right now. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and do that. There are still some options if you want to add translations or credits or you want to monetize your videos. I always just use the default. There's also advanced settings that you can change the category, the location, the language, the recording date if you want to change it. All these different things, but that's all more advanced that you don't really need to do to publish great quality videos with good SEO. Mainly it's about the title, the description, and the tags, and the thumbnail. So I'm going to go ahead and click publish, and there we go. We'll see you in the next tutorial.